Introducing a breakthrough in cat litter from Arm & Hammer.
Arm & Hammer Clump and Seal is totally different than what I've used before. Even after 7 days, it was odor-free. There was some sort of sealing magic happening.
Only Clump & Seal forms a tight seal around odor and destroys it with unique Arm & Hammer odor eliminators and baking soda for a 7-day odor-free home guaranteed.
I've tried every product. This is really pretty remarkable.
New Clump & Seal cat litter. 7-day odor-free home guaranteed. Look on the package for $3 off.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Bachelor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Bachelor After Show.
I told Steven to surprise us, and he did. What's up, everybody? Now, we all know that with 27 million weekly downloads listened to in 75 different countries, we're your one stop, one destination for true after-show entertainment. And this is The Bachelor After Show Season 18, Episode 5. I'm JC, and welcome to tonight's show. How are we feeling tonight, ladies?
Amazing.
Very good.
Excited.
Okay, before I go any further, I do have to send a quick shout out to Cathy Cupcake Kelley, who couldn't make it in tonight, and Danny Hoyt, who's stuck. He was stuck in the polar vortex of not a snowstorm, but the Super Bowl. So he'll be back with us next week. But of course, we've got our Love Super Bowl going on this week. So we've got a few lovelies across the table. So let us start with the lovely lady to my left.
Jenna Couture. I guess I'll introduce myself.
Well, you want me to give you okay.
No, let's just keep going. Let's go.
Okay, because I
want to get right into the show.
I'm going to tell the Bachelor Nation why you're here, because you're also a sex and relationship expert.
I'm an old timer coming back for a recap.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Old timer.
But we have some new blood this week.
Woo! I'm so excited to join this one. Hi guys, I'm JJ Jorgens.
And JJ, this is the first time we're doing a show together, so this is like the perfect show.
I was so excited. Very excited to get to work with you.
Absolutely. And of course, Steven. Okay, so, I'm kidding. No show would be complete without Steven Lemieux. Thank you, Steven.
Yay!
All right, so pleasantries aside, overall thoughts in what I call Today I Learned It. What did you guys think of tonight's episode? Overall thoughts.
The best Bachelor I have seen in years.
Really?
I wish every episode could be just like this.
Wow. Care to do you agree, JJ?
Well, that's a very strong statement. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, what made it the best ever for you?
For me, it was, I'm just going to get right to it, it was Claire going all the way. And them talking about it. They never are that upfront about talking about going all the way. And it's very obvious that they did. And it's always like, well, I think they did. And you never quite know on the overnight dates who's really sleeping together, if they're like holding out. You assume they do, but you don't know. And then nobody ever really talks about it at the final rose. And nobody ever says like, well, we slept together. Nobody ever says that. And they were fully talking about it. Like tonight, she's like, he was on board with everything. You didn't say no once.
Okay, so we'll get, that is quite a tease for later. I love it. So,
yeah.
JJ, would you, Jenna.
That makes it the best. I think going all the way on reality TV show, I don't know if you can really beat that. Like, go Claire.
3 minutes in.
I am following you, and I love you.
Really?
I do. She's my favorite.
Oh. We're going to disagree tonight.
I love it. Disagreement.
Cannot stand her. Ooh, but I did have a favorite quote from tonight, probably of many, all the Bachelors I've seen, and the panda in a room full of brown bears was definitely one of my favorite quotes I've heard in a long time.
I'm there with you. I had my quote was, live, die, or poop. What is it? Poop poop my pants.
Oh, I hate it when girls say that. I hate it when girls ever talk about
that. Happens often?
No, I just don't like it when it gets, I know. I could have gone without that liner.
Okay, so a lot to discuss tonight, and of course, we'll get to the Claire in a minute, but first, let's get into Vietnam. How gorgeous. I want to go to Vietnam.
Yeah,
Pretty.
it's really
I don't want to
pretty.
go, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching.
Yeah,
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I thought it was really pretty.
Jamie's like, yes, I want to go.
Anytime, I'm such a sucker for water and boats, so I just love that atmosphere, and I love the cave they went down, and yeah, loved it.
And when you say, because this is your first time with us, so I do want to talk about that. What do you think of the dates so far this season? There's just like this crazy element. Like, I don't know if it's because of Juan Pablo's personality.
I think it is. Mm-hmm.
Just
it's made it. I think they do it by the personality. Like Emily's was Rome and. Or not Rome, or in Italy, and wherever she went, those seem like places Emily would be in. I forgot where the other ones.
A little more sophisticated, you're saying.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
And they were in castles and, all of that. This one, it just seems so cultural. Even though he's like said openly, he's never been to any of these countries or experienced them. He just looks like he's experienced.
It's the accent.
He just seems like he fits right in. And so, I don't know.
Yeah, I love the dates this season. I think because to me Emily was so reserved. Like I like the fact that he is so just lives everything out loud and just loves to explore and get ready, and everything's so like challenging and active, and
he's so positive. He knows his way around a woman. I mean, he's so comfortable with these women. Like his body language makes me think like he's been dating each of these girls for like 15 years. I'm like, oh my God, I want to go on a date with this guy so he can fill me up. Like he is so
Good thing it's late night at AfterBuzz here. We could go many ways with that one.
He has so many moves though, and he's so cuddly, and he goes straight to hand holding, and he's always wrapping his arms around their waist, and he's just like, hey, feel good. Oh, you look beautiful. Oh, you really, I want you to have yourself a good time. Like, he's like,
trust me.
Okay.
Trust me, baby.
Are you buying the moves, JJ?
No, I mean,
I am buying it.
Like, I can totally see why they all are, and I think if I was in the moment with him, trust me, I would want to too. I'd be like, oh yes, he only has eyes for me. I trust him. But when you watch it, I want to yell at them. Like, no, he's doing this with all the ladies. He makes these moves and these moves in really close with them. And even when he's talking to Andy, and he's like, no, pulls her out to the ocean. And then she's the one she's the one I feel is fighting it the most because she's so analytical and smart and being the DA. So she's like, no, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to talk to him about this, this, and this. Then she goes in there and she talks to him, and then he's just like, oh no, I want you here. Okay, let's go sit by the ocean and make out and kiss again.
I trust him though. I do. I totally feel like he's being so authentic. I think he genuinely has feelings for all of these girls on some level. And I'd be so confused if I was him.
So you guys are split. It sounds like you guys are extremely split down the middle. So guys at home, if you're watching us live, AfterBuzzTV.com, hello. But if you're not, go to YouTube, iTunes. Let us know what you think. This week I'm putting it out. Team JJ or Team Jenna? Are you buying Juan Pablo's romantic ways, or are you like JJ? I'm calling you.
Wait, so you don't think he means any of that? Because I feel like he's connecting with each of them. Like he has this amazing ability to see the positive in so many people that he just is like, oh my gosh, you look amazing in purple. Your hair, your eyes, your body, your boobs, your butt. Like he's just so. Like, he makes them all feel so secure with themselves. I'm like, I don't want to date this guy, even if 50 other girls are dating him. I don't care. I don't care.
Don't get me wrong. I do think he means it. Like, I think he, though, loves a lot of women. Like, I don't know that I see this guy.
Latino.
Yeah, I don't know that I see him settling down with one woman. I see him really appreciating. I think he
makes me want to appreciate men more. And all sorts of them, a variety.
I think he does legitimately appreciate a lot of the difference in all the different women. So, I mean, maybe if he could make one superwoman out of all these different attributes that he likes out of each one.
Yeah,
but,
I think what's winning for him is that he is so open-minded to any of it working out. So he is not looking at any of those girls and saying, hey, you're so different. I don't think this is going to work out. He's like, you're so different and I love it.
Well, let's dive into this.
You're just like me. I love it. You're beautiful. I love you. Like, he's just like, anything goes. goes, "You're scared. I love you
I'm
more."
scared.
Like he's just
I'm
like,
scared right now. I am scared. Steven, I'm scared. We're 9 minutes and I'm freaking out here.
Do you need a hug? Is that what you need?
I may need a hug because
Why?
we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about
I know.
Renee, which is I think is going to change the script here. Were you surprised that Renee got the first date card with, what was it? Are we the right fit? There's so many. I never thought I'd say this about The Bachelor.
The first date card in Vietnam.
There's so many layers on tonight's date. Are we the right fit? Because the whole time I thought they were in the friend zone. And I still think they're in the friend zone.
No, I feel like when he talks about Renee's eyes, he's like, "Oh, those eyes. Renee's so sexy." Like, I couldn't tell if he was BSing us. Like, I just don't want to make out with her. But then he totally went in for it tonight, which was crazy because if I'm Renee and I'm in that far 5 weeks along, right? Mm-hmm. And they haven't kissed on their one-on-one date, like, they didn't kiss on their one-on-one date.
Right,
right. I would be like kicking myself. I would be like putting my hand down his pants.
Yes, we know that.
I would like. I have an 8-year-old son, and he's going to learn about sex tonight on The Bachelor.
JJ, okay. Thoughts on the date?
I agree with you that I thought she was in friend zone too, because I feel like he is kissing so many women, and I feel like if he had this attraction to her and if he really felt for her, that she would have got a kiss long before it. And I actually wanted to toast a drink for her tonight because I was so happy when she finally did get her kiss. I was like, oh, thank goodness, you know,
she was
like
spinning.
Yeah. I mean, that was a little creepy, but
she's like, it's so worth it. So worth it. I'm like, I can't remember the time when like something was that worth it to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great point. No, because I got that somewhere where Juan Pablo bought Ben a hat and the dress for Camilla, and she brought it up that never had any other men bought gifts for Ben before. So is that necessarily an indictment of the men she's picked before Juan Pablo?
See, that's where these ladies are getting confused. Like, have you ever seen a Bachelor or a Bachelorette? Like, these producers are telling them to go in and buy things. Like, this isn't like him, Juan Pablo, you know, getting his, like, oh, let's get a gift for each other. He, like, is being fed that from the producers. So it's like, I don't think it was thoughtful, Juan Pablo, because I think that was just something the producers are like, you're going to go on this day, you do a little shopping, pick up a gift for your kids, you know, make a custom dress, call it a day.
So producer plot, you're saying so it was...
Oh, for sure. Courtney Robertson said that when she was on her thing with Ben Flanick, whatever his last name is. And she was like, he would bring me popcorn, but I just realized that the producers were giving him popcorn to give me. Like, he doesn't actually do that in real life, you know? And so it's like these producers are feeding them resources and tools and things to do. Like, that wasn't him.
So you're not buying... Yes, if you're watching us live, we do have a dog in the studio as well.
This is Brule Tweets.
Who's a huge Bachelor fan. She's been a part of 3 seasons of Bachelor on AfterBuzz, so welcome, Brule.
Do you like Juan Pablo?
Oh, yes, she does. She wants to lick him.
Muy sexy.
JJ is giving us a tease for later on. She will be having an interview with Brule on her thoughts on Juan Pablo. But JJ, producer ploy? What do you buy? I mean,
I guess that is placed.
It's funny. I didn't think about that when I saw that. I actually thought that was him because I felt like that was the only thing for me that those two were connecting on at this point. I felt like, since I didn't feel the real attraction between them, I thought that, he did respect her because she was a mother and he knew what she was going through by being there. So I thought that he just did think of it himself to do something for her kid or honor the kid in the situation.
I gotta agree with
Jeff and Emily did that though. He was like, let's get a puppet for what's her kid's name?
Ricky.
Yes. You know, they do the kid gift thing if they've got kids. You know, it's
okay.
Tried.
You are a conspiracy theorist.
I'm just saying, I think that a lot of Juan Pablo is genuine. I just think that was probably placed. But that's okay. I mean, it's still fine. I still like the jester.
What do you think about his... Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely, because I'm going to bring her in because something I learned from Ben Flanick's season.
Okay. I want to ask you what you thought about the moment when he did decide to make his kiss, when she's in the middle of talking and he hasn't kissed her on the one-on-one, he hasn't kissed her to this point, and then he just does it right in the middle of her talking. Do you think
I have a hard time with it because I'm going to go a step further beyond the kiss. Most communication is done through body language, and I learned this when she was teaching us about body language a few seasons ago.
Yes.
when Renee and Juan Pablo are on a date, compare it to Nikki, compare it to Andy. His shoulders are engaged with, he's facing the other daters. When he's with Renee, watch the episode, you'll see he's in a neutral position. And Renee's the one leaning in. Renee's the one making the effort. And if a guy's interested, even women, when you go, you've heard about this, when you go to a bar, if a woman's interested in you, the hips will be pointed towards the guy. Same thing with a man. He's straight ahead, and it's a very neutral position, which tells me that I don't think he really feels her. You know, and
it was kind of reminds me of like Jerry Maguire. It's like you want the really hot guy to like the homely mom, but
wait, Renee in no means is a homely mom. I've got to stop you there. She's gorgeous.
I don't know.
She's one of
homely but cute.
She's one of the older contestants. I will say that.
Yeah.
You know, she's got a lot of seasoning, and I thought she looked great in that dress. She's a respectable woman. It's a woman that will be a great mother for a family. And that is what he's looking for at the core, because we'll get to another date a little bit later, which at the center core, I think he wants a mother for his future family.
You know, but I just want to say for Renee's date, I mean, it went off without a hitch. I mean, every date seems to be amazing. It's almost like Sean. These guys can pull off The Bachelor way better than girls can pull off The Bachelorette. You know, because Sean made every girl seem like she was the one. Everyone, I was like, oh my God, he loves this one. Nope, he loves this one. Nope, he loves this one. That's the same thing I'm getting with Juan Pablo, and I don't hate him for that. I love him for that.
And that's what's so great about it.
I love him. Like, I love him. I think he's an amazing bachelor, and I love that he went all the way.
Hey, JJ, do you think Jenna loves Juan Pablo?
I think she does.
I do.
Muy mucho.
I respect a lot of things about the way that man moves.
Okay.
My other thing about him and Renee is that she's constantly looking him, talking about body language, straight in the face and smiling. I mean, begging for him to kiss her or like be close to her. And I kind of feel like if I'm her in that situation, everybody knows that's what you want if you do that, you know. And I would kind of, if I were her at this point, be like, you know, he's really just not that into me. If I'm,
but I mean,
really,
he keeps saying though it's because of her kid, but it's like, I don't.
Look, we've had other Bachelor experts on before that have been part of the show, and they will tell you, we see it a certain way because we're watching it at home. We're like, God, what are you doing? Oh my God, can't you see it? But when you're in that bubble, you're cut off from outside the outside world. You have no access to your phone. You have no access to anything. It's just you in that fishbowl. You're in Vietnam. You're in South Korea. You're you're going on these fantastic dates with this dashing man. So everything is, the stakes are raised. So of course and I may defend Claire a little bit later because of that reason. It's because you're in that fishbowl. Everything's intensified. It's times 10. So I don't necessarily fault them for that. So, you know, on Renee's, you know, in Renee's defense and Claire's defense. But before we get into that, we got to get into, can you go with the flow? Which I love how they set it up. You've got Andy talking about how much she wants to go on a one-on-one, how much she wants to go on a one-on-one, how much she wants to go on a one-on-one. You know what that is. She ain't getting a one-on-one. No. We have Charlene, Chelsea, Kat, Cassandra, the lovely Claire, Kelley, Allie, and Danielle and Andy. Okay, so as disappointed as Andy was, does she have a right for a one-on-one over, let's say, Nikki or Danielle, who Danielle's maybe said 5 words this whole season? Was she right in complaining?
No, I feel like if I was on Bachelor and there was some girl that was hogging up the guy, I would be like, that's the girl, she's winning right now. Winning.
Oh.
Winning, like that's what it is. There is no, oh, let me just be polite. I already have a rose. You do this. Oh, let me just not hog him up all the time. No, this isn't fair. This isn't like a civil, normal thing that society does. This isn't something that lots of other people do. No, it's like 18 or 24 girls a year do this. Once a year, they do this weird dating thing on TV. Like, you don't have to be polite. So it's getting to that point in the season where Juan Pablo has real, you know, like he can't mask how he feels for Claire. And I thought that was more of an honest moment for him in that he couldn't really control that he was on this date with all these other girls and he was pulled towards one. And you don't see it that always focused, like that always pulled out, you know, like it's not always that obvious. Usually the other bachelors or bachelorettes can kind of worm around and be with other people. It was clear as day he just wanted to be with Claire the entire day. Well, from the boat to he picked her first.
Okay, no, but here's the thing. They paired up, and doesn't that tell you something that somehow Claire doesn't have a friend in the house? Is it because we also talk about, JJ, that it's not only your relationship with the bachelor, but it's also with everyone else in the house because it judges.
But it's bachelor first.
Okay, fair enough. Someone that can find the balance, but no one wanted to be with Claire, which in turn helped her out a great deal.
I would have wanted to be with her. I think they're jealous of her. She's cute. She's got an amazing body. She's bubbly. Like, I think that they're all, and she's got the strongest, so far, attraction with Juan Pablo. They hate seeing that. They're picking
to me, she kind of rubs it in their face, though. I think there's a way to be the one that he picks and be the front runner and not be as egotistical about it. Yeah.
Nah. I don't think she's rubbing it in their face like Courtney was when she was
No, she's definitely not to that level.
She's like nice villain.
Is it about, okay, so let's say someone like Catherine last season. She got along with the girls, yet it was obvious Sean and Catherine were like electricity.
No, not for me. No, I didn't see that until like he proposed.
I saw it in date 6 when they were they went on the snowmobile machine.
I mean, she was kind of a late comer, and he even admitted that he's admitted that several times that she wasn't on his radar until later in the game.
So, JJ, what do you have to say? I mean, was it fair? I mean, hey, the girl's by herself. Hey, what do you do? Do you play the game with the girls and the bachelor? What do you do? Do you go? Is it going to be a good result in the end for Claire? What do you make of all this?
I mean, I think Claire's also kind of staying back, not wanting to get picked because she can count and realize that there's somebody that's not going to have a partner. So somebody's going to be stuck with the bachelor. So I feel like she's also. Yeah, I mean, I can't fault her for it.
Strategic, and even Kelley was saying, I can't really. Can we hate her for that?
Right.
No, and it's like, can you really hate somebody for? You know, if I was with Juan Pablo and he wasn't feeling my connection and he was with someone else, it's like, I can't be mad at him because he's attracted to somebody else. Like, it's very obvious.
Okay, before we have our opinions, oh my God, Claire's, being so assertive. And Nikki said the same exact thing while they were on the group date. And I don't think most of us caught that. Nikki had a little short aside where they asked her about the group dates. And she said, well, I've got the quote. It's, let's see. I always get the rose on the group date card.
Yes.
So why is it, and everyone's like, oh, that's Nikki v. Nikki. And Claire, oh my gosh. Or am I confused? Am I lost? Did they put that in for a reason?
I feel like they pick on Nikki just as much as they pick on Claire. It's just that Claire, they had a heyday with her this one. Because like last week, it was all, we hate Nikki.
Right.
You know? But I mean, I don't even feel like we've seen enough. I mean, we haven't had a true villain since like Courtney Robertson, Michelle Money. I mean, those were true women that were out to, kitty's got claws, like these girls are like Bambi, like they've got like baby kitties compared to the big kitties.
Well, what did you say? Maybe the show's evolved. Maybe we're not going to have a villain per se.
Yeah, I like it like that too.
I
mean, you're going to have natural emotions in, seeing somebody that you're having feelings for. I can't even imagine what it's like to really live out the show. Because I'm sure that a lot of those feelings are real, despite it being scripted or, placed, produced, whatever. I feel like these girls have genuine feelings, and I can't even imagine how hard it would be. But I would say, survival of the fittest.
Okay.
Go Claire.
Okay, we know. We know, Jenna.
Take it, girl.
Team Claire. Okay. Okay, I want to ask you about Juan Pablo. Let's move on to the night, because or else we'll be here for 14 hours. Juan Pablo pulled us Andy, and she needed some reassurance. And I really worry, you brought it up earlier about Andy being such a type A personality. And I think she is one of the tougher girls to get to the center to, because she's always been in control of her life. And you can see that she does want to open up. She wants to be vulnerable. She's not used to letting someone else take the reins. And I have a fear with Andy. If Andy doesn't, if she's not the final rose, I'm afraid for all mankind and dating kind because she's always had this, I'm sure, tough exterior. What's going to happen if Juan Pablo breaks her heart? Because she's putting it out there. You know, and he, like you said, he reassured her, and she just melted. So it's interesting to see someone like that. You know, the movement, the journey she's taken. So, I don't. What did you? Anything you pick up on?
I totally agree with you on that, because I think it is very. I'm sure, being how structured her life is, to be like, I'm going to sign up for something like this to begin with and take this big leap, and then.
But she did. A person like that did sign up, and not even signed up, put an audition video together and went several different interviews to be where they are.
But then I think it's different with, like what you said, once they get there, and then it is such the bubble and more, you know, that I think even if you're trying to be a rational person and trying to keep, you know, all your ducks in a row and keep things like your level playing head, you know, that I think it's hard for her, because I think she's getting, you know, gets wrapped up in, or is going to get really wrapped up in just having to deal with all the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, the feeling close to him, then seeing him making out with another chick, and just
he would be the hardest bachelor to be with, because it would suck. It would suck to see him so comfortable with all of them. Like Des, she wasn't. I mean, I think she was making out with almost all of them, but she
had a way of making out with them that you were like, that's okay.
She had, like, she wasn't all. I mean, he just makes them. I'm telling you, he makes them feel like they're all girlfriends for years. Like, don't you feel like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I mean, he just feels so comfortable. Like, Cassandra hadn't been on a date for so long, and he, like, just dealt with her awkwardness and just, like, made her feel comfortable. Like, I'm like, who wouldn't love this guy?
He is pretty amazing in all the situations of, like, how he takes control of the situation and makes them
positive. He makes everything fun.
Okay, so with that said,
fills them up like cream donuts with confidence.
We'll get into that in a few minutes. That's called an After Dark tease. This is our NC-17 version of the AfterBuzz for The Bachelor. Now, were you guys surprised with all this buildup? We've talked about Andy and that reassurance. Were you surprised that he ended up giving the rose to Claire, not Andy?
No, because she deserved it. He just about had no. Claire deserved it.
Were you shocked, JJ?
I was surprised he gave it to Claire.
Who did you think would get it?
I was hoping Andy would get it, but
that just goes to show you he is having real feelings for Claire that he couldn't even separate and go, Claire knows how I feel. We just spent this whole day together, and then all this time afterwards. And then I got to top it off and give her the rose on top of it. The rose is like a pity thing that you do. And you're just like, hey, I didn't give you enough attention, but I want you to feel good about this. And I want you to know, I want you to trust me and trust the connection. You know, that's what the rose is. And it's for the one you didn't really give any attention to, but you're like, chin up there, little doll.
I don't know how you cannot give attention to Andy. I think she's striking.
I do too. I love Andy, but I just feel like that just goes to show you that it's so rare that The Bachelor just pours out all this attention on one person, and it's so obvious, like he did on their group date, and then after that follows up with a rose. Like, she's going to be hated in that house no matter what. I mean, he's like, the Bachelors kind of do this to the girls, too. You know, they get him, you know.
Well, I was starting to feel the spirit of Bob Guinea. Because he's on record for, I guess, supposedly sleeping with the most bachelorettes. Of all people, yes, Bob Guinea was on a 2020. And when I saw this going, alcohol, Vietnam, his accent, I was like, oh, we're going down that territory. But then it was actually Claire at 4 a.m. decides to show up and pull a Courtney Robertson.
See,
wants to go for a swim.
They sneak out. They pick one girl to sneak out. They do that.
My mama taught me no good swims at 4 a.m.
I'm telling you, my mama only taught me about those swims. That's what I'm talking about, Claire.
Now, I did grow up on a lake, so I am a big fan of these skinny dip late night swims. But
JJ Jergens!
Man, I'm a bigger fan of Hide the Tip. I'm just saying. I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Moving on.
I saw it tonight on reality TV, ABC.
I'm going to go to church after this right now, Jenna Couture.
I'm just saying, it was awesome. Like, this is what it's about.
A more important question, and this is more of...
And when she was talking about the water being warm, it was like they were in this big hot tub just busting up against them. Oh my God.
Okay, so then with
have to slide away.
with that said, I'm going to keep the heat going because
It was awesome.
protection or not, y'all discussed. No one has to answer that.
The ocean. The ocean was their protection.
Okay.
No, they went raw dog. Obviously, that she wasn't like, oh, by the way, my bikini, hold on, let me put this on in the water. Are you kidding me?
Okay, let me just say this. Okay, Claire was happier than she was.
Way to ruin a moment.
She was so happy because she was like, she said bliss and everything. Did she not know of the consequences to come? There are consequences every season.
Coming?
Yes, absolutely. Think about it. Courtney had consequences. They all. This comes back. Jenna Couture.
Yeah, I'm never a big fan of the girl who makes that move. Who does that
She's
sneaky
like,
sneak.
I just followed my heart and my panties. Hey, I don't hate her.
Jenna, we
I don't
cannot
hate her.
sing on the show because we'll have to pay royalties. So you know that. So we got to move on. We got to move on to.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even really cover that though. I mean, that was awesome.
Please, let's go with it. You want to go the play-by-play on what happened?
I mean,
Save it for the after show. Okay, so now she's gonna be so mad at me. Okay, what did you want to add to it?
I don't know. It's just a few more awesomes. Like, that was amazing. I can't wait to see what everyone else says. Like, I thought that was by far the best moment I've seen on Bachelor in at least 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay, let us know in the chat room and on YouTube. Actually, I am going to pull
I'm
this.
excited talking about it. I'm really excited. I love this episode. I'm going to keep it on my DVR forever.
Okay, I'm bringing in a fan because I'm trying to make this super interactive. Our chat roll is, my phone is being a little wonky to pick this up, but I got a message from Joseph Boza, and he says, you cannot fault Claire. Anytime you could get with Juan Pablo before the rose ceremony, you get it.
That's right. And she got hers.
Okay.
And she hid that
We
tip.
still have half a show to do, so
Okay.
we got to move on. We got to move on to...
All right, fine. But that was awesome.
Who I'm thinking is, who last week she was the sort of villain, who this week I think there's going to be more to come with her because I'm feeling the spirit of Ali Fedotowsky here. She reminds me of Ali a little bit.
Nikki?
Yes.
You know
Ali
what?
meets
I feel
Katie
like-
Holmes.
I feel like Nikki is villainized in the house a little bit last week. But I feel like they were bored. They just needed someone to pick on. I mean, I feel like she is kind of negative, but I feel like she's not as negative as she is serious. Like, she's just kind of a serious person, and she's almost like one of those people that are like a realist that are construed as negative. But and maybe she did stir some stew last week and try to talk a little smack or whatever. But I think that there is a good person down there. I think she's just very serious.
I think she's like Charlene, if we're going to talk about that. I think everyone thinks Charlene's awkward, but I think she is... Oh, next week she looks a little cuckoo, but I'm going to say, but she seems very grounded. She's taking it very serious, and having those insecurities, and wondering whether this is right.
Like, these women seem very grounded, and like not your partiers. Like, Nikki was like, I'm not the girl that jumped off the cliff in the lake. I don't do things like this. I'm safe, serious, calculated. Not, just. Making fly, not very spontaneous. And I don't really know. I appreciate that because there's parts of me that can relate to that. But I don't really know how that, like, layers or shakes out with Juan Pablo because he's so light-spirited and he's so spontaneous and he's so go with the flow and he's so hide my tip that I don't know if Nikki can really catch the tip.
Wouldn't you say that there would be a balance? So, or what are your thoughts, JJ? I'm sorry.
I actually agree with this one. I think that he, in the end, is going to want somebody a little more spontaneous. Like, yeah, in some relatielships, I think it can be a good balance. But I think he wants to enjoy so much and of everything.
So open to it.
That I
He's
think
so
that
open.
I think somebody's got to at least meet him 3/4 of the way. I think maybe that 1/4 could be good to keep him a little, grounded. But I think in the end,
There's like
he's
no
gonna
screen
need,
door, just wide open spaces.
and I think he needs to be a little surprised by somebody too. I think he's always the surpriser and always the adventurous one. So I think the ones that play it safe, in the end, he could get a little bored with. But I think if there's one that kind of raises that game a little bit, and he thinks that he might have to step up his game to be a little more challenging or a little more exciting or a little more something, that he might. That might pique his interest a little bit.
And that's why I pair Nikki and Charlene kind of against each other. I find them very similar because they're going to make him chase a little bit. And a Latino man, he likes to chase. And I think that's, I think he likes that. When you have these girls that are just bending over backwards for him and are making it too accessible, too easy, like Claire, and nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying he's going to want a little bit of a challenge, and I think I'm torn between Nikki and Charlene. I think they both offer him that. JJ, you're saying Charlene may be, Nikki might be a little too dry for him?
Either one of them could really be long-term what he wants.
I disagree.
I think Nikki would be closer. My thing with Charlene, and I wasn't here in the other episodes, I wanted to see what you guys thought. What were your impressions on her first kiss with him?
Oh, that's gone down in the annals of fame of being the most awkward kiss.
Yes, that's what I thought. Like I was like, oh no, there's no way. That's the worst kiss I've ever seen in my entire life. Compared with her other awkwardness and the hesitation at the rose,
all of their interactions have been somewhat. You've got to make me believe this instead of like just letting go a little bit more and just kind of going with the flow and just going, okay, this is fun. She's just so like, I don't know, do I really feel like this? It's like a cold blanket, like a wet blanket.
Yeah, totally agree.
Wet blanket. It's uncomfortable. Nobody likes a wet blanket.
I think he likes Charlene just because he said it himself. She gives me mundo. Yes, because she's traveled. It feels like he has to catch up to her a little bit, and there'll be a point where it's how much am I catching him, or how much am I just going to be turned off by this?
Yeah,
there'll come a point we're going to find out in the next. Well, we got 5 more weeks of this, so we're going to find out then. But I want to finish up with Nikki really quick because I devoted this to a body language episode. I wanted to compare the dates. When Juan Pablo and Nikki were on the second half of the date, when they were having that little romantic setting, that little like dinner or whatever they do, he was turned into her and her shoulders were back. I don't know if you noticed that. If you watch it, her shoulders were back and he was leaning in. He was engaged. So she's bringing him in. That's what I'm saying. And I think he needs a little bit of that. I'm telling you. Am I wrong?
Her body language to me was so stiff when they were talking that she was just like, I don't know, she was just so stiff. She had her arms crossed, she had her legs crossed, she had everything, like she just put off this like, I'm really nervous, like I'm really reserved, I'm really, like, I don't know, like I just feel like it's so many walls to try to get into Nikki.
It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter because in a weird way,
he just likes everything.
No, but for the most part,
it's just really weird. He just likes everything, so it really doesn't matter if you're awkward, you're classy, you hate this. Like
you have a vagina, he like you.
He likes you.
JJ Jurgens,
Sorry.
I'm in shock. I kind of like it. Okay. No, but here's the thing. But I've said it at the core, he's looking for a mother for, not a mother for Camilla, but a mother for his future family. And when she talked about being a pediatric nurse, you could tell that deep down inside.
Isn't it cute that he didn't know how to say pediatric? Oh, he's so cute.
Renee.
Oh my God, it was so cute. He's like, what is the She's like, pediatric, it's okay.
We'll teach him later.
It's fine, I'll teach you how to speak English.
I'm just going to finish up with this. Renee, friend. Claire, F-buddy.
No,
Hold
wife.
On. And Nikki, final 2 or like wifey material. That's what I'm saying.
I don't see it with Nikki. I don't see it.
I've never saw it till right now. That little snippet when she was talking about how she was drawn by pediatric.
I would need to see their sun signs compared to each other. I would guess that he's a fire sign and that she's probably an earth sign, like an earth or something more grounded, dirt, boring. I don't know. I hope you guys aren't earth signs.
No, with that said, we're gonna get on a numerologist or an astrological. How do they call
astrological?
That one too.
I'll help you speak English too.
Thank you.
I'll be your Nikki.
Me English not very good. Okay, so let's. I don't know. Any final thoughts on the Nikki date? I thought it was a little short. I think there's more to come.
I think that I don't know. I don't think rappelling down was as scary as she made it seem. I mean, I respected anyone being scared, but
and I'm tired of those dates.
I just hate that these dates just kind of go into fear factor for a minute. I feel so bad that they have to go on these dates and they have to cry and muster up the, the courage to go on some of these dates. That's why I would never do The Bachelor, because I'm like, do I have the courage? Do I have the cojones to like jump off a cliff? You know, I don't know. Like it sucks for them. I feel bad that they have to do like such, you know, that they have to be so uncomfortable.
I'm on the reverse. I love that they have to. Like, I don't want to see another quiet hot air balloon ever, or a helicopter ride looking at how everything's so beautiful. I want to see these girls put in really awkward situations. Because you see how real people.
Real tears.
You see how they deal with
tears. Oh, it's
anybody can look nice on a nice, quiet, like romantic date. Who can't look good on something like that? But when you're tested and you have to have your true colors show up a little bit, I like to see that.
Oh, I feel so sad for them.
I'm telling you, next year.
I'm like, just put them in a box of spiders. I mean, what next? Come on. Like, why don't you make these girls really uncomfortable?
No,
just go all the way.
They like to surprise them.
Tonight? Go all the way.
They like to surprise them. You're right. Going all the way. And she was expecting they were going to trim bonsai trees or something, but they went down that rabbit hole. Next year, they need to have them go do their taxes together. That's real couple stuff.
I'm surprised they didn't have like a snack down there, or like a little, you know, they are really good about making little fake sets in the middle of nowhere. So I can't believe that down in the cave there wasn't like a little loungy bed with like fluffy pillows with like strawberries and like coconut water.
You would like that too much, Jenna Couture, but they did that because they had to cut the episode because we had so much more to tell.
It's like they went down to the cave and it was like weird colored rocks, and then they like walked out, and I was like, can't they have like a bed where they can, you know, dry hump or something? I don't know. I'm just saying, if I'm like really scared and I'm crying and then I make it down to the cave, I want to like do something in the cave.
Jenna, I'm putting you in timeout. We're gonna have to put you in timeout. We're gonna have to simmer you down. No. What? Okay, with that said, let us move on to Cocktails and Roses, where we found out not one, not two, but three girls were going home. Shocked?
Why did 3? Is that normal for this episode?
Nothing's normal in Bachelor
I feel like they do it different. I was surprised that they let 3 go, but I'm like, well, this is just the 5th episode, and they still do need to kind of chunk out, you know, take a few chunks away, but, you know, usually it's 2, and then it gets down to just 1.
Right. Now, JJ, you've seen all the seasons, and were you feeling like something coming up here because with the Claire storm, you know, where she said finding love, being love, making love. Were you the one that talked about it earlier on the show about rubbing it in their faces?
Now, that was the one Claire spank I would give this.
Jenna, I'm putting you on timeout. I'm asking JJ.
That would just be my one timeout for Claire. That was wrong.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly. I just don't think
she didn't have to go there.
I think she could be enjoying all these moments, and you know, and I can't even fault her for taking, you know, having the guts to do the things that she's done. But I just think just keep it to yourself. Just have your moments, enjoy them, remember them, savor them. But I just don't think you need to go talk about them.
Yeah, because
I'm one to kiss and tell, so I would want to talk. And it would suck. It would suck to be there with no friends, nobody to talk to. It's like just festering inside of her, all this excitement. I slept with Juan Pablo. I played hide the tip with them in the ocean while everyone was snoozing and like holding their pillows, wishing it was Juan Pablo. I was out there holding him.
But if she's such a great game player, how is that going to get her where she wants?
She was losing in that moment because I think Juan Pablo was like saw that and that was immature. And he was like, I don't like this. And then he went and talked to her after it and then laid down the law with her and was kind of like, look, I'm not proud of that.
Okay, but was that right? I mean, he opened the door. He went in the ocean with her as well. Is that a cop-out?
That was such a cop-out. I lost a little respect. Not a lot, but
I mean, is he part to blame, JJ?
Oh, he's definitely part to blame, I think.
Yeah, it takes 2 to tango.
But, you know, but this is also the thing with her that I see a lot of as also this always drawing him in, drawing him away from the other girls, drawing him, and it's like she you know, always has to make such a scene, like when she wouldn't eat the octopus or whatever it was last week.
I don't think she made that big of a scene, though.
She made enough of a scene that just eat the damn thing, you know? And it's like, it's always about her. Well, just, if you don't want to eat it, throw it away. Like, move on. Like, she always sucks this attention to her all the time. And I feel like even when she had this breakdown, then she has to go leave and go cry. And then another time for him to now leave everybody else and come talk to her even more about it and reassure her even more. I just feel like, be a big girl.
Is he going to wisen up? Do you think he's going to see past that? Because in a relationship, if it's all about one person, I mean, once the show's done, let's say he does pick her. I mean, what does that tell for the relationship? Is it going to be about her? Is she always going to be in distress? Is he always going to have to rescue her? I mean, that's a common thought.
No, I don't think. I think that I don't think that she was in distress this episode. I think he threw her out and made her feel terrible and, was kind of like corrected the situation. I mean, if I had just played hide the tip with somebody and they were like, that felt wrong. That was not the example I would like to set. I'm embarrassed of that. Let's not talk about it. Let's hide it under the rug. I mean, when you let yourself be vulnerable with somebody and get naked with them and have that moment and you have an orgasm together, I mean, it's like a bonding thing.
We don't know that. That's an accusation. We do not know that.
This is pretty much what happened in my speculation. And someone just says, like, hey, let's not talk about that. And I actually felt wrong about that, and I didn't like that. It's devastating. I mean, it's like the pullback, and it's usually a chick move. I can't believe a dude made it.
I've seen dudes do it before.
I've seen dudes do it too, and I hate that.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, so was Claire validated in feeling that way, JJ? Even though you question her motives, her move.
I see they're both to fault in this situation for me, because he should not have had, you're right, he should not have done what he did, but also she should not have gone and told the girls and been like she was either. So I feel
but
like...
she didn't tell the girls, though. She didn't tell them.
Is this men are from Mars?
She just made it cheers because
Venus?
none of the girls, I mean, I think if any of the girls knew, they would flip. I don't think the girls know yet, but I mean, she broadcasted it a little bit, but none of them even kind of caught. They just knew something crazy was going on, but they didn't know that was going on, or I think a few would have volunteered themselves off.
Yeah.
Which might happen next episode.
I'm having bad allergies right now.
I know.
What was that about? Come on, really?
She's got no one to talk to. She's got no one to talk to. I feel bad for her. She just, like, put herself out there. Just think of her outside as, like, tiny Claire making bad decisions on reality TV. She's got no one to talk to. She totally is into this guy. I feel terrible for her.
Okay. So, I mean, that's why I love that you guys are here tonight, because you guys have totally different perspectives, and it's a reflection of, I'm sure, of everyone watching at home. Everyone's pro Andy, pro Claire, pro JJ. I'm just saying, I'm just like, do you have a favorite, JJ?
Andy's probably my favorite.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, JC?
My favorite?
Is it Charlene? I feel like I can call your favorites.
Can you? Go ahead. Let's see. This moment, call my favorites. I have 2 so far.
Nikki.
No. He's more of a brunette guy.
Wow, this is... Okay, enough. We've got to show to move on. Charlene and Nikki are my favorites so far.
Really?
Yes. So you both got it right. The girls got it right. So, but let's quickly finish up with... Also, interesting, 1 hour and 47 minutes into the show, who do we see? The host, Chris Harrison. Whoa, wow. How awesome is his job? 60 grand per episode. He comes in, final rose. Juan Pablo, and now, ladies, continue. Come on, that is awesome.
They need a spin-off just of what he does while he's waiting forever. I'd love to see, like, what he's out doing.
I'm sure he never even has to read teleprompter anymore. It's got to be ingrained in his head. He's got to have, like, rose dreams. Like, he's probably had some crazy dreams over the last 18 years. Or not 18 years. 18 seasons. 18 seasons, 9 years.
Yeah, so... But with that said, any other standouts on the night? He reassured Andy, and he was so smooth about that. I almost felt bad, because I was like, oh, he's good.
He's so good. It's like there's like a Bachelor handbook that they all go through and tell these girls, like, I want you to be here with me. I trust this situation, trust our connection. It's like they say the same shenanigans to every single girl, and I buy into it every single time. I'm like, oh my God, he means it. He wants her to be there. I would stay. Like an idiot. Because I can't tell. I can't tell who he really likes. To me, it seems like he likes everybody.
Well, we got to wrap up because it's close to 3 a.m. in the East Coast. See, so
man, I feel like I could just go on.
We know. Oh. I'm kidding.
I'm never coming back again.
I feel kind of sad that didn't really get to know Danielle at all.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the who.
I'm sorry, I totally jumped you.
Not at all.
Okay.
No, we can go with the flow here. Yeah, so were you surprised who went home? And
I wasn't surprised, but I just found myself, like, as she left, like, I just, like, I wish I would have.
It was the three girls with, like, zero camera time.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Okay.
Well, Kelley had a little bit, but she had some funny one-liners, but she didn't really have any Juan Pablo time. So it's like, I don't know if her time with Juan Pablo just got edited and not...
It did, I'm sure.
You know, because it just seems like those girls never spent any time with him. Ever.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking, we didn't see much of Cassandra this week, so that tells me there's more to come, because it seems like, to me, it's the pairing of Renee versus Cassandra. Not it's a versus, but I think he acts differently with Cassandra versus Renee. Yeah, just call me crazy.
He's a little more footloose, I think, with Cassandra.
Yes, absolutely. So,
see, and it's like, but it's like almost like Sean, where it's like I kind of felt like Sean could have been happy with any of them. I almost feel like Juan Pablo could make himself happy with any of them because he is happy all the time. So it's like I don't really know if he would be bummed out if he got stuck with one of them. Like, I think we would only be bummed that he only has one instead of 15.
Okay, so then, with that said, I want to finish off with what you said about Danielle. Danielle had a little moment where she said, "I knew that we didn't have the strongest connection." So then, why didn't she pull herself out of the competition?
Girl wants to travel, and I don't blame her.
No, but you could tell she was a little hurt, but I mean, why not pull yourself out? I mean, if we're calling everyone out, I'm calling the girls out as well. We've been given to Juan Pablo, we've been scrutinizing with his decisions, so...
I would say if I put my life on hold and I, like, boxed up all my stuff and put it in storage, took a leave of absence from work, I'm going to ride this rodeo out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm going to take this for whatever it's worth. I don't even care. I want a suntan in Vietnam. Don't care. Put me in a little boat. I don't care. Give me some weird food. I'll do it.
I liked how composed she was when she left. And so I think that's what made me want to know more about her. Just like, I don't know, I don't need to see a lot. You know, but I was just like, I don't know. It intrigued me for some reason. I just felt like she was, not breaking down, not losing it. She just seemed very...
Because she wasn't attached. I'm telling you, the more attached they are, the more they break down, the more they have bad allergies. It sucks.
I'll give you that. But
it sucks.
I have one. I hope they bring back Bachelor Pad 4 just for Kelley. Because I think Kelley would be hilarious. She's... I'm going to miss her. I thought she was fantastic. I don't know if it was stunt casting, kind of like, I think one of the girls this season, the hippie girl. I thought she was a total setup. I think...
And she's dating some millionaire off of Snapchat. Like, she's dating, like, the founder of Snapchat. Yeah.
Lucy.
And she actually comes from money herself, so... I don't know what that was all about.
So that's why, like, Kelley...
That was just some gossip I read.
Kelley, well, thank you. There we go. Thank you for that tidbit. So we've gone way long, so I was going to move on. No news and gossip this week. We'll save it for next week. Let's move on to some predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, so... Next week, we've got the Kiwis, we've got New Zealand, we've got some more tiers, some more breakdowns, some more Claire, of course, and... Charlene breaking down a little bit. What do we see next week? Not all at once. No, really.
I feel Claire is going to keep dragging this out, which is going to be her downfall, is that she's not going to let this go and not going to leave that she can't parking lot that conversation and just let it be whatever it was, even though it was really bad, I have to agree with her. I would be sensitive and probably make it worse than it... I'd probably do exactly what she's doing, which is making it way worse because she's so hurt and wounded from like him rejecting their first time together that I feel like it's only going to go downhill from here, which is unfortunate because I felt like they had a really, really strong connection. But once you take something that high, it's like once you just dart right to it, it's like there's only like down to go. It's like that's why it's so much more interesting learning someone, getting to know someone and building up to that, because once you go straight to the top, it's like I don't know. And I hope that's not the truth. You know, I hope that's not the case because I really like her. But these other girls, like Nikki, taking it a lot slower, but still having some, good conversation and kind of building her wholesomeness, I think is working for her. And I think that might pay off for the girls that aren't, rushing in with leading with sex and sexiness.
JJ, what do you see?
I completely agree with her on that one. This is so hard. I definitely see Charlene and Andy having big time struggles coming up.
They're too smart for the show.
Yeah, I just think they're either gonna, and I also think both of their either egos or confidence is gonna hit a breaking point of F this, I'm out. Like I don't want to compete with these other girls. I think they can't see. Andy really had a problem seeing him kissing on that boat, and I don't see.
They need to ride the wave though, because after the show they get to date the Bachelor family, the Bachelor boys. I mean, come on, life ain't that bad. I mean, Juan Pablo is hot, but you get full access to all their parties, and like they befriend you immediately. Like, oh hey, you got dumb, so did I. So what do you want to do right now? And it's like, okay, like all right, you're in like an exclusive dating pool.
So they're doing it for the pool.
I'm saying that's what I would. That's what I always have in the back of my mind. I'm like, well, if I did get rejected on The Bachelor, I would get full access to all those guys.
So with that said, a lot was done in the pool. A lot will be done in the future pools. So we gotta go. So ladies, first a round of applause for Jenna and JJ for joining us. Thank you so much. And
oh my gosh, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Jenna, where can they find you?
I'm at Jenna Time Tweets.
And JJ, well, Jenna, what other shows are you doing nowadays?
I'm actually doing Cougar Town full time, so catch me there Tuesday nights at 8.
And JJ, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm also on Nashville and Shameless, another one where we get to talk a lot about the tip going in and various other type of topics. I like these kind of shows.
To start watching that.
Where can we find you?
You can find me at JJ Jergens on Twitter, Facebook, website. I'm also on my blog, tomgirl.tv.
Nice. And Steven, where can we find you?
Yay!
Okay, thank you, Steven. So for Jenna, JJ, I'm JC. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Cathy and Danny.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.